Let's keep going. That's part 1 of 4 today.
In the middle of the Space Center bombing trial, we had another bombing incident. This one destroyed courtroom number 4. Furthermore, Apollo suffered massive injuries from being there when the bomb went off. Unfortunately, Juniper Woods was fingered as the courtroom bomber. Athena and I knew she had to be innocent, so we took her case on. We managed to clear Miss Wood's name. But Apollo sustained further injuries when he was attacked by Ted Tony.
December 19th, 3:21 p.m. Right? Anything? Agents. Apollo is a tough guy, but this is taking its toll on him.
Yeah, poor guy. Being attacked by Tony like that on top of all of his other injuries. Okay, so now we're after the bombing. We're to where after Apollo's left.
Yep. We're finally in the present.
Oh no, he's still at the hospital from the Tonate attack. Apollo is resting at nearby Hickfield Clinic. I've had some experience with that place myself. An awful turn of events. I never thought he'd land in a hospital, of all places. You must miss him too, huh? Now that you don't have anybody to tease? Don't worry, he's young. He'll heal quickly and be back before you know it. It's been a while since I last saw Trucy look so down. We won a court case, yet nobody feels much like celebrating.
All right, enough of this, people. This is no time to be moping around now. Dry those eyes, both of you.
You're the only one who's crying, Athena.
Technicalities, look, we have work to do. We have to take over.
Take over what exactly?
Apollo Space Center case, of course. As no verdict's been reached, there's still a chance. I agree with Athena. We should pick up Mr. Starbuck's defense. We have to avenge our fallen comrade. Right, Daddy?
Apollo hasn't exactly fallen. He's still alive, you know.
Good. Now that that's settled, let's get going. Come on, we gotta run.
Wait, right now? Now? Better not be running the whole way. There she goes. Better go catch up. Can you take care of the office, Trucy?
Sure thing, Daddy. Let's be careful out there. In the meantime, I'm gonna bake some cookies and fill up my magic panties for you.
Trucy seems to be feeling a little better. You can always count on Athena to perk up everybody with her enthusiasm.
Oh, she's back. Don't mind me, just forgot a few things. Wallet, phone, the documents, my bag.
You forgot everything, then. Sounds more like you forgot everything. Always count on Athena for that, too.
Alright, you two, let's be careful out there.
December 19th, Detention Center, Visitors Room. So our client is one Solomon Starbuck. He's so famous, even I've heard of him.
Woohoo, I get to chill.
Do you, though? You said
That's right, he's a super famous astronaut who works at Cosmos Space Center.
You're like, I get to chill. No, you still have to do Athena.
He was actually up in outer space 7 years ago.
You seem to know quite a bit about him. Now I'm excited to meet the man. Wow, that was the longest sigh I've ever heard. Apollo told me about you. You're Phoenix Wright, Apollo's mentor, right? Yes, that's right. Mentor has a nice ring to it.
Don't worry about a thing, Mr. Starbuck. Mr. Wright and I have got you covered.
And you're the new kid that Apollo told me about. Wait, don't I know you from somewhere?
Huh? You mean other than at your trial? I don't think so.
Wait. Wasn't Athena's like little trauma dump 7 years ago too?
Yep.
It's all connected. I guess so. My mistake. My memory isn't what it used to be. My mind and body are kaput. Same goes for my life. I mean, I'm so astronomically unlucky. I had a bomb go off in the middle of my trial. Trying to defend me would be like trying to enter the stratosphere without a spacecraft. Yikes, he's seriously got to stop depressing himself.
Yeah, Mr. Starbuck. Besides, the thing you said about entering the stratosphere. That just means we shine like a shooting stars, right?
Like shooting stars? Huh? You know, you're right. Why didn't I think of that? After all, that's what we were put on this earth to do, right? To shine like stars. Guess I shouldn't mention the fact that shooting stars burn out in a flash. Oh yeah, here we go. 3, 2, 1. To the stratosphere and beyond. Yeah, I feel alive now. You can go ahead and ask me anything you want. Is that really all it takes? Hey, here's my attorney's badge. So what do you think about this? The evidence is gonna get me convicted. No. It's my attorney's badge. I was hoping it would reassure you that we're here to defend you. Evidence isn't just for the prosecution. It can help prove a personal innocence too. Aha. That's a positive spin on things. I thought that it was common knowledge. So you have no memory at all of the incident? I'm so ashamed. My memory of the time is as black and clouded as dark nebula.
Still, it's strange you don't remember a thing. Are you sure you didn't take one of those anti-anxiety pills like they said in the trial?
It is true I developed a fear of space because of what happened 7 years ago. I was taking medication secretly every now and then when my anxiety got bad. Having a fear of space is not something an astronaut can brag about, you know? Oh, the so-called Hat 1 miracle. Must have been a terrifying experience. But I'm still an astronaut at heart, come what may. Never take drugs that might impede my performance just before the launch. That launch meant everything to me, more certain than the theory of relativity. Seems like a completely different person now. This is the face of the astronaut I know.
But the tranquilizers were found in your system.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. But I don't know why. I'm done for. If you didn't take them, then maybe somebody slipped them to you. Exactly. That's what I thought. You must have been the real culprit. My medication was in my locker. Anybody could have gotten their hands on it.
Maybe the real culprit also planted the detonator switch in your pocket.
Yeah, that's gotta be it. I've been framed. I'll say, they even managed to plant your prints on the switch before slipping it in. It's a real possibility. Do you remember anything else that might be relevant? Anything at all, no matter how smart. Like about the murder weapon, for example. That knife. I think it came from one of the Space Center's utility kits. Utility kits? Yeah, staff who work on machinery are given these special tools kits to use. All the technicians have them, so I doubt you could prove whose knife it is. As I recall, your last trip into space was 7 years ago, right? That's right. It was. Pretty rough experience. During that mission, we had all kinds of problems with the craft. You did? What kind of problems? Power failure, oxygen leakage, busted radio, cracked windows, loose control column.
They were doomed, holy shit.
The heat shield came off while we were entering the atmosphere. Thought I was a goner. But I managed to make it somehow with the popsicle and ice packs from the freezer.
No wonder they dubbed it the Hat One Miracle. It's a miracle you made it back.
Is he the only one that survived?
Might have been.
Space is a boundless place. That's why it continues to capture people's imaginations. But the vastness of space shows us how insignificant we are in the scheme of things. The darkness just goes on forever, and ever, and ever, without end. There was nobody else there. Nobody was gonna come save me. I was alone. Okay, so he was alone. All alone. With nothing to listen to but the sound of my own breath, breathing, and heartbeat. I kept scrambling to make repairs, but I couldn't keep my hands from it shaking. An experience like that would make anybody afraid to go up into space.
With the experience you had, weren't you dreading this mission?
What? No way. Of course not. Now I want to go up into space so bad I can barely stand it. I want to shake off the Earth's gravity at escape velocity and spin around weightless.
But you have to admit it was pretty harrowing. Weren't you even a tiny bit afraid?
I was afraid. Of course I was. Still am. But space is man's final frontier in an unknown world. The cosmic truth is out there waiting for us somewhere. The cosmic truth, huh? Guess there are people looking for the truth in every walk of life. No matter how afraid I am, I'm sure I can manage. If I give in to my fear, I'll never find the truth. As long as I don't give up, I can keep up the fight. One thing's for sure, Mr. Starbuck's passion for space is undeniably the real deal. The victim, Clay Tehran, was kind of like your protege, wasn't he? Well, it wasn't a big exaggerated deal like matter where master and apprentice or anything like that. But Clay did think of me as his mentor. Mentor and a protege. What a combination they must have been. With his encouragement, I knew I could get over my fear and go back into space. But now...
Clay must have been very encouraging, huh?
Yeah, it's funny, really. Whenever I'd hear him shout, "You're fine," I always got the feeling everything really was gonna be just fine.
You're fine? Apollo says I'm fine and you're fine all the time too. And I always feel encouraged too whenever I hear him shout it.
Yeah, Clay and Apollo were best buds. They used to come visit the Space Center a lot, even since they were high school kids. One day, out of the blue, Clay even told me he wanted to be my protege. Those two hung around the Space Center so much, they were like a part of the staff. One time during Zero-G training, I started to panic a little bit. And the two of them took turns shouting, "You're fine," over the radio. It was a simple thing, but it was exactly what I needed to hear. So I'm fine and you're fine were like Apollo and Clay's secret phrases, huh? Wish I could ask Apollo more about Clay and their relationship now.
Speaking of Clay, how do you suppose he climbed down the ladder with you over his shoulder?
Sorry, but I can't even begin to imagine. But he actually did climb down that ladder, so a way that has exist. I just look over and I just see you cracking. From the freedom of space to the walls of a cell. But that prosecutor said the dark night sky isn't half bad through the barred windows.
You're fine. Solomon Soul Starbuck is fine. Everything's gonna be alright.
Huh?
And Athena's ex is fine. Come on, Mr. Wright, you too.
Do I really have to? Phoenix Wright is fine.
I can't hear you.
Phoenix Wright is fine.
We'll get you back into space yet, Mr. Starbuck. Believe in your own innocence and have faith in us.
Apollo believed in you wholeheartedly, and that's good enough for me. I believe in you too. Thank you. Thank you both. Both of you. I'll put my faith in you. And I vow to make it back into space. All I need first is a not guilty verdict. So it's nice to reassure ourselves every now and then when we're all fine.
Okay, Mr. Wright. Let's get our investigation of Space Center started, pronto.
Good idea. Let's go.
Before we start the investigation, I have a feeling that the protege wasn't supposed to die. It was supposed to be this guy.
Interesting.
Right? So he launched 7 years ago, and all that shit failed under the current... If the guy who manned the spaceship essentially sent him out to die. Cracked windows, the heat shield comes off. That's a huge lot of safety checks.
Oh, yeah.
To be sent out in the atmosphere. And in return, he becomes famous. Right? So he's untouchable for a long period of time. Then he hatches up this scheme. The two of them in shoulder, while he's completely passed out, end up laying down in that place, right? End up laying down in that room.
The culprit comes in, doesn't know which one's which, but they just stab anyway.
And he picks one.
They probably thought, because Clay had the capsule, they probably thought it was Solomon that was carrying it. So that's probably why they stabbed Clay instead.
I feel like they judged based on the oxygen level. Right? One has more oxygen, one has less oxygen. Right? And so at this point, he has more oxygen because he's breathing calmly because he's passed out. And the other one's probably has less oxygen, and he thought the one who had less oxygen was the one who was going to be dubbed the hero this time, and he stabbed him because he thought it might have been him. But he turned out to be the coward. Just a weird thought. It's something akin to that, you know what I mean? Or there was something that he had, like a lucky charm or something like that made him think he was him right before the launch.
Well,
right?
Let's see.
No identifying key cards or anything like that.
December 19th, Cosmos Space Center entrance. Wow, I was wondering what kind of place the Space Center would be. Almost looks like an amusement park for the future.
Yeah, did you know they even let the public set the rockets up close? Oh, so check it out. Look at how brightly the Gyaxo logo shines in the sunlight above the entranceway. I really dig the stars and rocket motif it's got going.
JAXA, huh? Isn't that the new name of the Federal Space R&D program?
There's also another thing, too. We know one of the bomb diffusers becomes a victim, right? So maybe that third bomb was diffused by her, or there was another bomb that was diffused by her, and then she clicked it in. Maybe there was a third bomb that was supposed to go off somewhere more convincing.
Well,
Because where would you
they
bomb?
said that the bomb they had in the courtroom was the one that was in the lounge that was supposedly supposed to go off to destroy evidence.
Yeah.
But Candace Arm disarmed it before it could.
So Candace Arm actually disarmed it, and then she probably went to stop Ted Tonator or something like that.
Yeah,
or confront.
Like he confronted Ted in the courtroom when he was tampering with he was trying to swap out the bombs. He whacks her head with the bomb, kills her, and that's all she wrote.
If that were it, then the whole thing would be something like, oh, frick.
If that were it, then the whole... Oh, come on, your camera. There we go. If that were it, then the whole thing would be something like the Galaxy Exploration Agency. Which, if you ask me, I'd have abbreviated GAXA, or even GAEA.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, I know. Maybe the person who came up with the name just really likes the letter Y.
This exchange is beginning to feel oddly like deja vu.
Anyway, this place is more than just a research facility. It's also a tourist attraction.
Tourist attraction? Don't make me laugh. It's a monument to the human race. Galactic scooter, full speed ahead.
Is this Yuri? Yikes, who is this geezer and what's he want?
I'll do him. Look upon me. We look well. Behold the great power of the space science. Pardon me? Who are you? My glorious name is Yuri Cosmos. I am the director of the Cosmos Space Center. The center of the cosmos.
Boss, that was pretty groan-inducing.
This person's the Space Center's director. Then that means...
Ah, so you're one of the first to discover Clay's body, weren't you?
That is correct. I was honored to be the very first man in all of space and time to discover the body. But let's talk of the incident. Are you by any chance the space police? Okay. You can't tack the word space on any old thing, you know. We're Mr. Starbuck's lawyers. We're here to investigate the case.
Oh, and we're Earth lawyers, by the way.
Ah, I see. I've heard about you. In that case, by my esteemed privilege, I grant you permission to investigate. I trust you are appropriately grateful. Now, go ahead and have at it.
I can already tell he's going to be nothing but trouble.
Don't let him hear you say that, or you'll see what trouble he really is. Let's just be professional and ask him about what he found, about when he found the body. Wait, up. Excuse me, about this piece of evidence. Come, let me ask you a question. What will that object contribute to the future of mankind? What? Not much, I guess. Then how important could it be? quite unlike the great historical figure, Yuri Cosmos. Ha 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 ha. Any more self-absorbed, he'll turn into his very own black hole.
I would also present to him the capsule if you can.
We'll see. We'll see if it becomes necessary. So, as director, what do you do here at the Space Center specifically? Defend peace across the galaxy and promote space development in this country. No matter what obstacles stand in our way, we keep going for the sake of mankind. I believe I used the words specifically in my question. Attention all personnel. To your break stations. Prepare for break.
Oh, I get it. You just wander around and tell people what to do in a self-important manner.
That is exactly right. Because I'm an important man. My manner is important.
Mr. Wright, this man doesn't get sarcasm.
Well, there's bound to be some people like that here in the boundlessness of space. What's that? You want to know what it is that makes me important specifically? Very well, I will tell you. I was the central figure of that HAT-1 project. You may proceed now to be appropriately impressed. Now go ahead, have at it. I might be more impressed if I knew what he did for it, specifically. Can you tell us what you know about the incident from the other day? I refuse. What? Explaining is a job for common folk, not for the director of the Space Centers of the Cosmos. My testimony, which will go down in space history, will be heard in the courtroom.
What? So does that mean you'll be taking the stand tomorrow? Well, he has to.
That is correct. I will be the most glorious witness in the history of mankind. I'm not sure he really understands what being a witness is all about.
Looks like Director Cosmos is the type that only talks about what he wants to talk about.
Let's at least try to ask him about the things he might be willing to open up about. The HAT-1 was a rocket that was launched into space 7 years ago, correct? Despite numerous problems, it somehow made its way back home. I suppose it is part of my job to educate ignorant young folk like you. Very well. I will impart to you the complete story of the HAT-1 project.
Oh.
Thank you very much. HAT-1's noble mission was to collect samples from an asteroid. And Mr. Starbuck was the pilot for that flight. Eventually, HAT-1 reached its planned orbit, where it launched the Hope probe towards the asteroid belt. From there, the Hope probe began its long, lonely journey into the far reaches of space. Then, after a terrifying struggle, the HAT-1 returned safely to Earth. That struggle was when the incident known as the HAT-1 miracle occurred, right? Oh, wait, that was Phoenix. Correct. As it truly was a miracle, of course. They just had to turn the ordeal into a movie. As for the Hope probe, it did eventually arrive safely at its destination. It obtained a few samples from the asteroid and returned to Earth a few days ago. So what kind of samples are they? What's in them? Samples are scheduled for analysis in the near future. We haven't had time since they came back the day before Terran's murder. Regrettably, we had no time to inspect the samples due to everything that has occurred. But this puts our space development program ahead of the other countries by several years. That's quite impressive. Guess this guy isn't just a loudmouth bag art after all. In the golden age of space development, our predecessors were successful in bringing the moon rock back. That is the greatest achievement in the history of spacemen. The public fell in love with the Space Center and all of its glorious potential. Moonrock, huh? Rather that being big. Our endeavors with the moon rock live on in our work with the asteroid samples. I want to bestow new hopes and dreams for the future upon mankind once again. That is my mission, as a man who stands at the center of the cosmos.
I hear there's lots of research into moon rocks and stardust from asteroids these days. They say the results could potentially have a huge impact on all of civilization. It's like with a new space race with every other country out there.
What? Bite your tongue. It's not for anything so base as money or politics. It's all for the brilliant futures that await mankind. All for my illustrious mission. With the recent budget cuts, my staff tells me finances are tight, but I don't hear it. I guess even the space program has to watch its budget. Yeah, because launching stuff into space is very, very expensive.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't even read that. By the way, you seem awfully knowledgeable about this kind of thing, Xena.
Oh, well, you know, I thought I'd better brush up for the case.
Is that so? Well, I will be on my way. As you can see, I am very busy. A very important man.
He did it.
Galactic Squirrel, fire up the main engine. Max battle speed and engage. Gone.
He definitely did it.
That thing is surprisingly fast. I guess we better get going too.
You bet. Let's make it so.
What
Whoa.
the heck? December 19th, Cosmos Space Center, boarding lounge. So this is where Mr. Turan was murdered.
Yeah, this is the lounge. Let's see what the diagram the police made again. Right now we're in the main building here on the right side on the 3rd floor. Clay and Mr. Starbuck fled here from Launchpad 1 after the explosion.
You there, no admittance without express permission.
We're Mr. Starbuck's lawyers. We've come to investigate.
Sorry, nobody gets in without permission. Not even the police superintendent. Can't have Detective Fulbright getting mad at me. So Detective Fulbright is here, huh? Yeah, he's in the Launchpad 1 corridor. Go get clearance from him and then we'll talk.
Leave it to me. I'm great at getting intel out of Detective Fulbright.
I mean, we just got permission from the Cosmos Center person, so... That technically supersedes Fulbright's permission, right?
Kinda not really. Let's see. What trick should I use on him today?
I don't know if I should be grateful or afraid.
So, to get to the Launchpad 1 corridor, we just have to go through that door with the blue rocket on it, I think.
Wait, that door. Looks awfully familiar.
Good eye there, boss. That's the door Clay and Mr. Starbuck used during their escape on the launch pad.
Ah, that explains it.
The fingerprint system has been deactivated, so I think we can just pass through. Now, come on, let's go.
Number nice to meet you. Cosmos Space Center. Launchpad 1 corridor. So this is it, huh? This is the corridor the two of them used in their escape.
Yep, this is the only thing connecting Launchpad 1 into the main building.
So the police tape down on the other end. Guess we're not looking at the launch pad.
After the explosion, the whole corridor must have filled with smoke.
And the launch pad itself was probably a sea of flames. Must have been pretty scary for them.
Now, where could Detective Fulbright be? Hey, I think that's him over there.
What should I do? Which path is the path of justice?
He seems to be lost. That's funny. This corridor is a straight shot.
Huh? Ah, it's you lawyer people. Welcome to the Space Center. Enjoying a relaxing day off, are you? Here for a little rocket sightseeing? We're here to investigate the same as you. Do you have any info to share?
If the XL reluctant to give us information. We hit him with the whatever shall we do act. I'm sure he'll fall for it. Got it?
Are we trying to catch the unruly family dog here or something? Info on pigs, huh? Alright. I'm glad to share some with you.
Huh? What just happened?
Detective and lawyer seeking the truth and justice side by side. I like it. Let's take whatever you want from me. Let's take whatever you want from me. You info bandits? I'm in a generous mood today.
No trick? I don't know. There's something weird about Detective Fulbright today.
Good information. So let's run with it.
If you say so.
Alright, new chapter. Still gotta do this. Something for lost and found. I'll be sure to take care of it. No. This is an important piece of evidence. Detective Fulbright, can you give us permission to investigate the crime scene?
There's an officer on guard. We can't let get in. Or whatever shall we do?
That's an easy one. I'll let them know over there to let you in. Investigate to your heart's content. Take a week if you need it. Months even. Trial's tomorrow. We can't take that long. So I have some snacks delivered. One of my men gave me a mean neck rub. No. That's okay, but thanks. Definitely not the Fulbright I know.
Detective Fulbright is acting sickeningly sweet. It's kind of gross, actually. Do you think he hit his head on something?
Who knows? Whatever the case, it's making our lives way easier. You were here at the Space Center at the time of the incident, weren't you, Detective? That's right. I was here on security assignment.
The police are required to secure rocket launchers now. I didn't know that.
Yes. Well, you know us. Disturb and protect. The explosions occurred while I was on duty, so I started leading the evacuation. He's leaving out a lot of details, but okay. Can you tell us more about what happened? Of course. A bomb went off on the second floor of the main building. Right after that, the one over in the launch pad 1 blew sky high. Okay, so the floor 2 one went first, and then the launch pad 1. So I immediately instructed the visitors and employees to evacuate to the shelter. Shelter? That's right. The evacuation shelter in the basement of the Space Center. It's there for accidents and emergencies, and the like.
So where were you when the first bomb went off?
I was on duty on the 4th floor. It's quite a madhouse, I tell you. The builder wasn't working on account of the explosion. The stairs on the 2nd floor were destroyed, so we couldn't go that way.
Then wasn't it impossible to go down to the basement shelter?
No, we lowered an emergency ladder on the 4th floor window and escaped that way. It was a folding ladder, so it wasn't very stable, but at least it reached the ground.
4 floors.
After I secured the ladder, I left to take another look around for any survivors. Someone got out safely. I made my way down and headed to the shelter.
Wow, what an ordeal. Climbing down an emergency ladder kind of sounds fun.
Thank you for your answers, Detective. They were very helpful. Just one moment. I have more information to share with you. But don't tell Prosecutor Blackwell, okay?
Wow, Prosecutor Blackwell usually has you on a short leash, too.
Well, never mind that. I thought you should know that there was a witness. A witness, huh? Tell us more about this witness. Sure thing. The witness was a Space Center employee who was on the 4th floor. While she was climbing down, she looked through a window and saw into the 3rd floor lounge.
Well, she was looking at the crime scene from the outside.
That's right. It's just a matter of chance that she saw something important. Not that I know what she saw exactly yet, though.
You don't, but that's the most important thing of all.
Don't you worry. I'll get around to interviewing her soon enough. She'll still be here somewhere here in the Space Center. We might even run into her. 4th floor employee, huh? Alright. Thanks for the info, Detective Fulbright.
You're sure of being cooperative, Detective. A little too cooperative, even.
Yes? Well, actually, something you can't talk about? Yeah, something like that. Anyway, never mind. Don't worry about me. Well, I'll be on my way now. What was that all about?
Something is definitely going on. I'm going to get it out of him the next time I see him.
Okay. Not so sure he'll talk about it, though. Well, we have permission to investigate now. Let's head back to the boarding lounge. Ah, you two. Dr. Fulbright has granted you permission to investigate. He also said I should bring you some snacks or give you the necro if you'd like. Ah, Fulbright.
That's all right, but thank you for the offer.
Well, time to roll up our sleeves and start investigating. Now let's see. Where's the diagram again? The lounge is on the 3rd floor of the main building. According to Apollo, this is where he believes the 3rd party killed his friend.
Well, let's stop the recap and start looking for traces of a 3rd person then.
Read my mind, Athena. Make that our first priority. Just one problem, though. This room. It's just so big.
Don't worry, we can use this to help us.
Space banner pamphlet for tourists?
Yep, picked it up at the entrance. The maps inside should come in handy. Let's see. Yep, here it is. A map of the lounge. This is the door we went through to talk to Detective Fulbright.
Yeah, that's the door with the fingerprint recognition lock.
Okay.
Well, I guess the map would make things a little easier.
Yeah, no more excuses. Let's track down the 3rd person.
Wait, there was just one more thing. What's this strange creature moving around outside the window?
Oh, boss, it's just a holographic image.
Oh yeah, I knew that. Whew, what a relief.
There should be a button somewhere in this room to turn the image on and off. That's what it says in the pamphlet, anyway.
Wait. Is this the window that witness
He
would have
saw?
looked through?
Yep.
Because if the projection's on, I wonder if anybody can even see in. The reason you're so eager to start is that so that you can push the button, isn't it?
And what's wrong with that? Let's just look for a button while we're looking for clues.
It would be nice if they had a cut if we're just like, I'm ready to press it. All right,
But if the
fine.
power was out, I guess the hologram wouldn't be up, right?
Yeah, that's true. First glance, it looks like a peaceful landscape, but then there's that creature.
Didn't the Hope probe go to some planet? Maybe this is what the surface looked like.
I don't know. I think it would make the news if they discovered a creature like that.
It did make quite a bit of news, though, when the probe came back.
Yeah, but the Hope probe didn't even go to a planet. It went to the asteroid belt. It's a big rock of things. Even aliens can't live there. No matter how I look at it, all I can think of is a torture device. But I guess a training device for getting used to zero gravity? Uh-oh, Athena has an odd glint in her eye. She's thinking about trying that thing out. I'll try to stop her, but I'm afraid she'll just outmuscle me.
Hey, Mr. Ryan, look at that up there.
What the heck? Some kind of fragment stuck in tight.
From, like, the O2 tank?
Glint about it. Yeah.
That color looks familiar. I think it's part of the oxygen tank.
Okay, I don't think we actually could, like, look at the oxygen tank itself.
Yeah.
I think you're right. If that's here, Miss Clay's tank ruptured after they arrived at the boarding lounge.
The Prosecutor Blackwell's theory that Mr. Starbuck dropped Clay down the ladder must be wrong. This proves that both the astronauts were alive when they reached the boarding lounge.
So Apollo was right. The scene of the murder wasn't the launch pad.
Hee hee, way to go, Apollo.
We're not adding that to the court record? Okay. Sure. Whatever. Some pretty looking futuristic furniture over there.
According to the pamphlet, those are no ordinary chairs. They're like amusement park teacup rides. You can power them yourself, it says. You spin the table, your chair spins too.
Why would anybody want to have something like that here?
It's for astronauts who have trouble with the device on the ceiling. No vertical spins. It says a training device that's easy on the eyes and the body.
Can a person really call themselves an astronaut if they can't handle zero-G? What's it? What's the little bubble? Okay, now let me investigate the pod. Oh, yeah. Good. What's the door? Looks like there are 3 doors that lead out of this room.
Now let's check. Drum roll, please. Ta-da! The Space Center pamphlet. We're here at this place that says Boarding Lounge 1. Here are the 3 doors. Let's call this Lefty, Righty, and Downy. People usually say west, east, and south in a case like this, you know. Shit!
People usually say west, east, and south in a case like this, you know.
Details, details. Anyway, take a look at the west door. That door with the rocket icon leads to Launchpad 1. I know because it says here on the map, Launchpad 1 corridor.
So that's where we were with the detective. It was filled with smoke after the explosion.
Right, next up the right-hand side of the map, or east if you're in your world. That's the door with a satellite dish icon to signify communication, aka the control room.
Yep. Someone says control room. Looks like it has another door on the opposite side.
They communicate and exchange information with rockets and probes in space from there. So it's the center, the Space Center. Space Center, if you will.
Does everybody start to talk like Director Cosmos after they've been here for a while?
But it seems like they built a new command center on the 6th floor. That's what they used for the Hat 2 mission. So this control room was empty at the time.
Was it empty, though? I always wanted to see the inside of a mission control room, since they were here.
I'd love to do that too, but it doesn't look like we'll be able to. They want to keep curious kids like you out. So the door is protected with the fingerprint recognition. Only the director can go through.
Is that much security? I'm definitely not the one they're looking to keep out, Athena.
So apparently the lock is also hooked up to a backup generator in case of emergencies.
What about the last door?
This lower door, oh excuse me, I mean south door, leads to elevators.
Plus,
This is the door we came through. We entered... She's explaining, I swear!
This is a door that we came through when we entered this room, right?
Yep, and of course there was no fingerprint recognition device, so it's open to anyone.
The elevators weren't working at the time due to the explosion.
Well, that's about it for the 3 musketeers of the boarding lounge.
Thanks. Understanding the layout of the lounge should help us understand the case. So that's why I thought we'd better have a good grasp of where all the doors go. Bright purple sky, plenty of greenery, and tranquil lake. The idyllic scene stretches as far as the eye can see. It's beautiful, but it lacks something to make it truly captivating.
The hell is on the floor?
You mean the outline of the body?
No, there's something there. Oh, oh yeah, never mind. I see how the room rotated.
This must be the security camera that recorded the astronauts making their escape.
Oh, let's commemorate this occasion with the love and peace.
If you're done now, shall we move on?
Yeah, okay. But just one more for the road. Peace!
Very mature. Curious about this switch.
I wonder what this big knob is for. It looks like the knob on a stove.
Well, it's the same shape. I think it's where similarities end. I mean, it's behind a glass pane. What kind of stove will require a knob security like this?
Well, the knob is straight up and down, so if it was for a stove, the burner would be off.
Right. If it was for a stove. Still, I wonder what it's really for.
Something turned on by a knob that's not a stove. How about a rocket engine?
If you had to start a rocket engine here, the rocket would take off before you could get in.
Then I guess all we can say for now is that it's a mystery knob.
This is a fingerprint recognition device. Guess you put your hand on its hand mark.
Well, I guess when you could try. Now to line my hand up with the outline.
Please don't, Athena. This thing is related to the case. You print all of that, and the next thing you know, you'll be named as a suspect.
Well, how can you be so cruel to a little girl like me? Sniffle.
I'm not buying those tears, Missy.
Let's see, this door is... Where's that pamphlet? Here we are. It's the door to the corridor that launches pad 1. We went through it earlier and we went to talk to Detective Fulbright.
So I guess the security lock must be disengaged now, right? They say that the corridor was filled with smoke at the time of the bomb. Sitting beside this door must be the fingerprint recognition device.
Which reminds me, I think Prosecutor Blackwell talked about it at the trial.
mean the bomber's prints were verified by the system? The number of authorized personnel was supposed to be really small.
Voila, fingerprint powder. I brought it just in case something like this came up. I found it at the office. I've just been itching for a chance to use it.
Wow, way to think ahead. Isn't it just gonna have all of their stacked on top of each other and it's gonna be, like, useless?
You got it. Now to sprinkle some here and a little over there, and... Phew. Let's see what we have here. Oh, we got something. It's only a single set of prints.
Only a single set? Isn't that a good thing? Sure wish we could figure out whose prints these are. So obviously we're lucky to do culprit's prints on the first try.
Well, I'm willing to bet that Detective Fulbright has some fingerprint data.
Right. There's security footage of the store, too.
Here it is. It came up in court the other day.
You're going to see the parts of the footage just after this bit.
Oh, because that would be right before the murder, wouldn't it? Let's ask the detective. With the mood he's in, he'll probably show it to us right away.
Yeah, he's almost in too good a mood today. So we'll see if we can find him once we're done searching this room.
Nothing on the pod?
Can't look at that. Like
You gotta zoom out and press it. Because there's clearly, like, devices here and shit.
What's this? A trap door? Oh, it's a trash spot.
Trash chute. It's a trash chute. The cleaning robots throw the garbage out from here.
So the culprit could have come in from there. The robots do the cleaning? What future world do we live in? Just hope they don't revolt like they do in science fiction movies.
No way. All the robots here are very nice. Actually, wasn't there one in the Launchpad 1 corridor? We can go say hi to it if you want.
Although I love this sign. Helmet use required. Please use the moonwalk. Apparatus responsibly.
Footprint on the bottom left.
It's another amazing piece of equipment. Walk on the surface of the moon, it says.
Oh boy, I want to try it. No. Gravity is weak on the moon, so I bet I could do a mid-air somersaults.
We're still on Earth, remember. Besides, it's connected to the ceiling.
Well, at least I could jump really high.
The sign on the wall says very clearly, don't jump too high.
Well then, what good is this thing?
Didn't I say in the beginning, walk on the surface of the moon?
Huh.
Why can't we, what? Oh, something shiny.
Ooh. Hey, I see something shiny down there.
Let's take this cover off then. A bullet?
What's this? It looks like a metal jelly bean.
It's really small, but it's a bullet. It's only about 2 or 3 millimeters in diameter. Let's see. That would make the caliber 10.
Caliber refers to the diameter of a gun's barrel, right?
Yes. I've never heard of a 10 caliber gun before. It must be a special kind of gun.
I bet if you tried firing a bullet this small with a regular sized gun, it would just fall right out.
Yeah, must have been a really small gun.
I wonder how the bullet even ended up here. I mean, we're in the bottom left on the south door side of the room, according to this map. That's pretty far from where Clay Bodies was. Maybe the police didn't think to look here.
Yeah, leave it to Detective Fulbright to accidentally hand us the card we need. I think that's it.
Odds?
These are apparently oxygen capsules. They're for recovery after a training session.
I wonder if they can change your voice. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Huh? It didn't do a thing.
It's not helium, Athena. It's oxygen. What's this?
There's some kind of paddle with 2 buttons on it here.
Earl. There's some kind of panel with 2 buttons on it. It took you that long to realize.
Just push it. That's the invariable principle of the buttons.
There are such things as buttons left unpushed. They aren't windows. They're just screens.
Hey, the giant holographic image disappeared. Oh, there's a window on the right side, though.
Oh yeah, that over there, I guess, is a window. I didn't even read that. I keep hitting buttons. Yeah. Though that side of the walls seems kind of barren without it now. Still, let's see if we can find anything new with the image off.
One more rotation.
Holograph if off, the screen is completely black, which for some reason makes me think of losing an argument to Prosecutor Blackwell. At least I got my brain revved up. Come up with my best ideas at times like these.
Oh, crack.
Oh, what the? You would think that would show on the screen, like even with it on.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Wright, take a look at this.
Looks like a bullet hole. Great find, Athena.
It's pretty big. Whoever fired the shot must have been using a pretty large gun.
You think so? Based on my experience, I'd say that this was fired from a regular pistol.
Well, whatever size it was, somebody fired a gun in here, right?
Apparently, this is an important fact. Do you see a bullet around somewhere?
No, the police might have taken it, though. I'll tell Detective Fulbright about this bullet hole later.
Well, a crack that big, we would have seen that. Well, there's still something we can investigate on it. Right. Completely black for some reason. Okay, so that's the same I'm gonna go. So, like. Alright, I think we should be good to look at the spot for the body now. Oh. Face.
Oh, Amir, how thoughtful of them to put one here.
Thoughtful?
So the ladies can fix their makeup. One's appearance is just as important as space as it is on Earth, you know? You never know when you're going to run into some other life form, after all.
Don't anybody who thinks like that would ever become an astronaut in the first place.
A window, and it's right next to the holographic image, too. I bet it's here to help people see the stark contrast between reality and virtual reality.
Way off. It says emergency ventilation. You know, clear smoke from fire.
See, it's pointing out the virtual insanity of reality.
It's a ventilation window, huh? So this is where they discovered Clay.
Yeah, he was already dead when they found him. Let's take a look at the photo.
So you stretch out like this and... Huh? What's this thing that looks like a thermos?
That's the thing that Prosecutor Blackwell mentioned when I was in court with Apollo. He said that it contains asteroid samples.
Oh, right. Director Cosmos mentioned something about that too, didn't he? That they were brought back only 5 days ago by the probe that the HCT launched.
I wonder what they look like. Do you think they'll let us see?
Nope. Definitely not. Let's think about that after we've solved the case, okay? Welcome to the Space Center guest. Welcome. Yikes. What in the world? My name is Ponko. P-O-N-C-O. Ponko.
Are we gonna cross-examine Ponko?
Oh no. Are you sightseeing? Are you lost? Are you looking around? Choose one. I will guide you. It's a robot. I am not a robot. I am Ponko. Psychological observation and navigation companion. P-O-N-C-O. Ponko. Well, I'm glad we got that cleared up.
Oh, Ponko, I missed you.
Huh? Do you know this thing, Athena?
Oh, she, showed us around the last time when I came here with Apollo. Oh, you're such a good girl, Ponko. That's a good girl.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy. So very happy. Wow, a guide robot. That's pretty cool. My name is Phoenix Wright. Nice to meet you. I don't know you. I don't know you.
That's not my purse.
Huh?
That's my
Ouch.
purse. I don't know you. Oh, she has to register people she meets for the first time. Please register him, Ponko.
Certainly. Commencing guest registration. Please tell me your name. A nickname is fine too.
His name is Phoenix.
Bit overly familiar, but I'll allow it. Phoenix, please let me get a good look at your face. Oh, sure. Registering. Facial recognition sequence complete. We are now officially friends. Nice to meet you, Phoenix. Huh? This robot's pretty cute.
You made a friend, Bros. Isn't that great?
Phoenix, Athena, allow me to guide you right this way.
Oh, goody. Let's go, boss.
Go where?